Before I move on to the rest of the panel, I think listeners probably will be wondering version of your son's question. It wouldn't use the word crazy, but wondering, you've been excommunicated. Your church obviously feels very strongly that your marriage to your husband is wrong and sinful. Yet you keep going to your ward. You keep involved.
Well, I got involved in my ward as a result of a spiritual process, and I felt God speaking to me very clearly and telling me that that's what I needed to do, and it really was an act of faith. For me, that was a huge cognitive dissonance, to feel that the Spirit was calling me to become active in my church, and yet so many things in my life seemed to conflict with that. But I felt such a peace about that. I felt grounded in that, and I felt that that was what I needed to do. And I wanted that Spirit to be in my life and to continue to be in my life, and I knew that in order to do that, I needed to follow it. And so I got active in my ward, and I have been so richly blessed by my involvement in the church. And I met with my first bishop, and my first bishop said to me, "You obviously love your husband very much, and his relationship with you means a lot to you, and I know this is very difficult for you, but I want to encourage you to live as much of the gospel as you can. Live every principle of the gospel that you are able, even within the constraints that are placed on you." And that is what I have done, and my life has become so more rich and beautiful, and I have found this profound connection with God. And the thing is, after this policy was announced, and this was very painful, and my husband could tell you, I was sort of walking around the house looking stunned. For the first time, I didn't really have a lot to say. I'm a pretty talkative person, but I was just quiet for the first couple of days after this. But I prayed about this, and I just felt enveloped by the love of God. And I have felt our home, my husband and my home, has been filled with light and peace. And I have felt so reassured. And so I trust that God is going to bring us through this. I went to church last Sunday, and members of my ward came and hugged me and embraced me and spoke with me and reassured me of their great love for me. And so I don't know what all the answers are. I know that God is in my life, and that the church is where I need to be. And I have a testimony of the church, and I don't think we have all of the answers yet. And I actually do believe that this action by the church to clarify the policy is actually a step to move us forward with this. I think we need to understand very clearly what the current teaching of the church is, and we need to understand very clearly the life experience of our LGBT members, and then we need to really wrestle with the seeming contradiction between those things, and I think that we as a church will become much, much better as a result of that wrestling. So I actually do believe that this will, in the long term, be a very positive thing.
If you just joined us, we're hearing right there from John-Gustav Wrathall. He is on the board of directors for the group Affirmation.